The machine faltered mid-sequence. You felt the panels burn beneath your palms. Then the fall began. Not through space, but through time. When the silence ended, you were standing in the Triassic. Heat does not just press down here. It burrows into you, slides under your suit like molten weight. The plateau stretches in all directions, a crust of red stone fractured into endless ribs of dust. The air shimmers as if it were liquid, and you realize quickly that nothing in this place belongs to you. Not the sky, not the ground, not even the breath your filters struggle to process. The plateau is alive with scents, not pleasant ones. Every crack in the stone leaks resins, oils, and the acrid reek of plants forcing their way through the dryness. The odor thickens, a chemical haze that grips your tongue. Each step makes the smell worse, because your boots crush brittle herbs whose release is not fragrance but signal. You pause. The air shifts. Your visor registers trace compounds, fluctuations invisible to the eye. That is when you understand. Here, smell is not decoration, not background. It is currency. It is warning. It is blood on the wind. Something stirs on the far edge of the plateau. Thin shapes move with sharp, jerking precision. A group of Coelophysis, slender hunters. They are not looking at you. Not yet. Their heads are raised, tasting the air. Their nostrils flare. You feel your body tighten, realizing that the suit's filters are not perfect. You carry moisture, salt, the faintest chemical thread of life. And here, threads are ropes. A drop slides down your wrist. Sweat even inside the suit. The droplet clings to the glove, a tiny bead that trembles with each pulse of your racing blood. You think of water and your throat constricts. But worse, you think of what water means in this place. Water is beacon. Water is betrayal. The Coelophysis shift again. Their tails slice arcs above the stone. They scatter, weaving in silence. You notice that they are not charging. They are spreading wide, as if encircling something. And then a new shadow tilts overhead, fragile wings stretched like parchment. A small glider, no bigger than your arm, floats on a thermal. Its body tilts, its skull swivels, and you feel its gaze. It does not see you. It sniffs you, as if the wind itself had given you away. Every instinct screams to move, but the plateau punishes movement with dust. Already the air is thick with the chalky, bitter taste of crushed earth. You kneel, careful, forcing yourself to breathe shallow. Through the helmet's static hiss you hear nothing. Yet your nerves insist that everything in this place is listening. The plateau carries no mercy. It does not hide your presence. It advertises it. Every molecule, every droplet, every shiver is a signal you cannot erase. You know without needing a manual that there must be rules, brutal, absolute rules, to survive even a fragment of this place. You just haven't spoken them yet. The bead of sweat still clings to your glove, trembling. The hunters are nearer now. You raise your hand, but even that small gesture feels like too much, as if the world itself waits for a mistake. And you know, the mistake will come. The plateau breathes, not with lungs, not with rhythm, but with heat. Waves rise from the surface in distorted curtains, so dense they seem to warp the very shape of distance. What looks close is far, what looks still is moving. The air itself lies to you. Your boots scrape the crust. Each impact releases more scent. Brittle stems bursting, stones sweating mineral oils in the sunlight. Even your filtered breath carries weight here. Inside the helmet you taste your own body, metallic, sour, and you imagine how it must drift outside. A faint ribbon of salt and water curling upward into the invisible economy of smell. Far below, the basin sprawls like a scar. Sparse vegetation claws at the stone. Low shrubs exuding a sharp, peppery sting. Fungal mats that bleed bitter spores. Thorned vines giving off the odor of rotting resin. Each of these is not random. Each smell is message. To the plants, it is defense. To the creatures, it is language. To you, it is betrayal. From the ridge, you watch a scene unfold. A small reptile, quick and lizard-like, darts toward one of the resinous shrubs. It bites once. The plant responds instantly. A burst of odor so sharp it makes you gag even through the suit's filters. Seconds later, shadows converge. A trio of Coelophysis slip from the rocks, jaws half open, eyes darting. They move not toward the plant, not toward sight, but toward the invisible trail that victim has unleashed. The lizard writhes once in their grasp before being erased in silence. You realize then, the plateau is not an arena of sight. It is a battlefield of molecules. Everything here survives by tracing currents you cannot see. To be blind is one thing. To be odorless is impossible. A shift in wind rattles your visor. It carries a new tone, heavier, wetter. Somewhere to the south lies water, a pool or seep precious and rare. The scent is faint but undeniable, and you feel thirst surge inside you, brutal and commanding. Your throat becomes raw parchment. The suit's recycler hums, processing your exhaled vapor back into fluid. But the idea of fresh water, unfiltered and real, claws at your thoughts. You imagine dipping a hand into it. Imagine the coolness on your tongue. But then you see the truth. That scent is not invitation. It is trap. Everything alive within a mile will be moving toward it. A low cry drifts across the stone. Not a roar, not a scream, but a broken call, dry and sharp, like two stones struck together. It repeats, irregular. Another signal. Somewhere beyond sight. Another mouth declares presence, or hunger, or claim. The cry cuts. Then silence folds back in, thicker than before. You remain kneeling. The plateau presses its will upon you not by force, but by absence of choices. Move, and you spread dust, releasing bitter clouds. Drink, and you become a flare in the chemical night. Even stillness leaks your existence drop by drop. In this place, survival will not mean strength. It will mean obedience to rules you have not yet spoken, but rules you will soon discover or die before they form. You begin to shape the rules, not as words but as survival etched into your nerves. They do not come as guidance from above. They come because the plateau forces them into you. Rule 1. Do not spill water. Moisture is more valuable than flesh here. One drop is enough to carry across the wind like a beacon. You imagine the ripple. A droplet falling to stone, evaporating instantly, but in that instant releasing its pure, clean signal. Hunters would turn as if struck. Even creatures you cannot name, burrowed in cracks or gliding on the air, would rise to converge. If you give the plateau water, you give it your body as well. Rule 2. Never move carelessly. Dust is not just dust. When disturbed, it clings to skin, boots, fabric, carrying with it a pungent mineral odor. That odor spreads, sharper than sweat, outlining your path. Already you have seen the Coelophysis dissolve into silence the moment prey rustled. You know if you stumble, if you fall, if you drag your heel, the plateau will write your location in the air like a signature. To break this rule is to declare yourself present in the language of predators. Rule 3. Stay downwind of life. The wind is both map and knife. If you walk with it at your back, your odor unfurls before you like a banner. The small glider that circled above taught you that. It drifted silently, yet shifted each time the air moved your way, as if reading invisible script. You must always move against the wind, forcing your scent to trail behind. Violate this, and you will not see the strike until teeth close around you. Rule 4. Do not bleed. You think of it with cold fear. Blood is not water, but sharper, heavier, impossible to ignore. Even inside the suit, even with its layered seals, an injury could betray you. A cut would not need to gush. The faintest seep, the lightest trace, would announce you louder than screams. Bleeding here would be not just pain, it would be a flare you cannot extinguish. Rule 5. Silence is fragile. Guard it. Sound is not the main currency here, but it travels as companion to scent. Metal scraping stone, a hiss of recycled air vented too hard, a stumble. Each sound pairs with molecules and sharpens the outline of your trail. The plateau listens, not with ears, but through those who thrive by following echoes of presence. Should you forget, should you exhale too quickly, you will learn how silence breaks you. You repeat the rules inside your skull, as if carving them into the bone. No water, no careless steps. Stay downwind. No blood, Guard silence. Each law is not option but condition of existence. You feel the strain already because your body itself is treachery. It sweats, it thirsts, it trembles. The plateau does not kill you directly. It only waits for you to betray yourself. On the horizon, the hunters still drift, spreading wide arcs. Their nostrils flare again, sharp and constant. They have not seen you. They have sensed you. The rules are your only shield. For now, the rules hold until the body begins to rebel. You recite them silently, like charms against the plateau, but your body does not care for charms. It wants water. It wants air. It wants release. Your recycler hums, but it is never enough. The dryness inside your throat feels like sand packed into pipes. Each swallow scrapes. You try to ignore it, but the thought of liquid, of one sip, grows until it fills every corner of your mind. Your chest convulses. A cough rattles upward before you clamp it down, hard. The echo dies inside the helmet, but the effort sends a tremor through your muscles. Sweat bursts out in rebellion. Tiny beads crawl down your ribs. One makes it to your wrist again, trembling against the glove. The suit catches it, but the smell, what if the filters fail, what if one molecule escapes? You force your hands still, but every muscle shakes. You are no longer predator or even prey. You are an accident waiting to advertise itself. The wind shifts, not in your favor. A warm current pushes against your back, lazy and wide, carrying whatever you are into the basin. You scramble sideways, crouched, trying to keep low. Dust rises in pale clouds. You curse yourself instantly. Rule 2 broken. The mineral smell lifts like smoke. You freeze, hoping it dissipates. Doesn't. Shapes stir. The Coelophysis are closer now, their heads jerking as they test the new signal. They do not rush. They spread, slow and certain, letting the wind work for them. One tilts its skull high, mouth parting in silence, a hunter that knows patience. Above, the glider tilts again, wings stretched thin. It circles tighter this time, tracing the warm draft spilling your scent forward. Its body dips low, then rises, as if mapping your betrayal. You force yourself against a ridge, crawling into shadow. The heat there is worse, but at least the wind breaks. You remain still. The hunters stop, confused for a moment, their heads twisting. But the reprieve is small, fragile. Your lungs fight again. The air in the suit feels thick, hot, unbreathable. You try shallow breaths, but your chest spasms, demanding more. When it comes, the cough bursts uncontrollably, shaking your whole frame. The sound is muffled, yet in this place it is enough. The nearest Coelophysis freezes. His gaze swings toward the ridge. The others follow, drawn not by vision but by the vibration carried on dust. Their bodies tighten, tails stiffen, and in a single movement they align like arrows pointing to the same mark. Rule 5 broken. Silence shattered. You press your hands against the stone as if you could erase yourself. But the plateau has no forgiveness. It only has consequences. The hunters advance, slow but certain, weaving between stones. They do not rush. They savor inevitability. Their nostrils flare again, catching the mingled trail of dust, heat, and sweat. Each step closer is a verdict. You try to remember the rules, but they unravel inside your mind. One broken leads to another, and the cascade has begun. And you know the plateau is patient. It does not need to strike now. It only needs to wait until the next rule fails. You cling to the rules even as they collapse. Inside your skull they repeat like broken code. No water, no careless steps, stay downwind, no blood, guard silence. But rules are only bones. Your body is the meat, and the meat is already betraying you. The coughing fit drains you. Your chest feels carved hollow. Sweat pulses faster, no longer beads but streams, thin and constant. A silent leaking you cannot stop. You clutch at the seals, but the suit is not built for miracles. Every exhalation fogs the visor, proof that your own breath is an enemy. The Coelophysis close in, weaving arcs across the plateau. They do not strike yet. They are reading you, tasting the air, confirming certainty. Their patience is worse than an attack. Each moment of waiting is another second for your body to falter. You feel their gaze without sound, without mercy. Above, the glider dips again. Lower now. Its wings ripple, catching heat. His body turns sharply toward you, then veers, then turns again. A signal, not to you but to everything else. Your presence has been written into the air, and now it circulates in patterns larger than you can imagine. You try to retreat. The ridge scrapes your back as you edge along it, but dust lifts in pale streams from your boots. Rule 2 shatters again. A hiss of stone against metal rings in your ears. A betrayal you cannot take back. The hunters move instantly, not rushing, but aligning into a curve that cuts off escape. Your thirst surges until it becomes pain. You imagine water on your tongue, cold, perfect. The recycler hums but cannot answer. Desperation drags at you. Against every rule, you tilt your head back, opening the valve inside the helmet, letting a single ration sip drip onto your lips. The liquid is warm, metallic, but to your mind it is paradise. Then terror follows pleasure. The air inside the helmet fills with a sharper scent, a trace of moisture vented when the valve opened. You freeze. You beg the filters to hold, but the hunters react instantly. Heads snap high, their bodies tighten, eyes bright. They heard it. They smelled it. Rule 1, the only rule that mattered most, is gone. They move. No hesitation now. Their bodies break into a run, claws scattering pebbles, tails stiff for balance. The sound is dry thunder rolling closer. You try to run too, stumbling along the ridge, each step releasing more dust, more betrayal. Your visor fogs, your lungs convulse. The suit feels like a furnace. Behind you, the rhythm of pursuit grows louder, then splits, some above, some to the side. They are not chasing a body. They are following a trail written in scent and sound and heat. You cannot erase it. The ridge ends in open plateau. No cover. No wind shift to save you. The sky burns overhead, white and merciless. You stop, not because you choose to, but because the rules have ended. The plateau has stripped them from you one by one until only absence remains. The hunters close, shadows stretching across the stone. Their nostrils flare one last time. The Plateau of Smells accepts you, and nothing else remembers.